doing it like past couple years, but realistically, last year they had three in a row. So that's another reason why they were like really more interested in involving that and implementing it in. But yeah, so pretty much with 2K25, you already know Bloodline, Roman's on the cover. You have the Undertaker Dead Man Deluxe Edition, and then you have the actual Bloodline, special, edition.
Which one are you gonna get?
Uh, well, right now I'm not gonna be getting the game anytime soon since I'm fucking broke. I'm gonna have to fucking wait.
I completely forgot about that part.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking wait because I don't have like just a random $130 to drop because I'm gonna get the best one so I can get everything.
Did they oh, here we go. I can actually see what comes with what. See. The Dead Man pack comes with the My Faction Persona card, 90s
Yeah,
Undertaker, Mattel Elite Collection Greatest Hits under usable urn, Brother Love
yeah,
Manager.
like because it's gonna be like a usable weapon.
Oh, I thought it meant like they would send you an urn.
No, so like kind of like
Oh,
in 24, how you're able to use the football, use the apple, the microphone, and all that stuff for additional weapons.
that's
It's gonna be the
stupid.
same. It's the same thing. You'll be able to use the urn, and you'll also get Brother Love as an exclusive manager. And then for the pre-order bonus, doesn't you know what I mean? As long as you pre-order it, then you're gonna also get the Wyatt Six as DLC. So you get all five members,
That's
which is fine, but I feel like since they've already had enough time to debut, they should have already just been in the game.
that's what I don't. Yeah, that's what I don't understand about. And then you get the Island Cosmetics for the Xbox only. It's a Howdy mask and a cross mask. Well, if I'm getting the characters, I should get the mask automatically. Like, what are we doing?
Right, then that's what they're saying. So like you're able to so once unlock them, since you already unlocked them, you're able to also unlock the mask to use in the island mode. And you're able to put them and wear them on your character and shit. Because pretty much what the island mode is like,
I was just about to ask you that.
yeah. So with the island, there's like different. It's kind of similar to like NBA's like city and shit like that, where there's like multiple sections and there's going to be like challenges and matches and stuff like that that you can play to boost your my you know player, your my character and shit like that, and you'll have like ally storylines and stuff like that. And I guess like the whole point is to go through enough challenges and earn a big enough rep to be looked at and acknowledged by Roman Reigns since it's his island, the island of relevancy. You basically got to make yourself relevant enough to him, and he's gonna basically
It's
use his fucking power to get you a quote unquote contract with the WWE.
it's so funny that a guy until 4 years ago is now be like, oh look at I'm top. It's like shut up, bro.
I mean,
You had
honestly, though,
one
like,
cool moment in your life, and now you think you're like top shit.
well, it's not even him; it's the machine. That's the thing. Like, the machine has pushed him for so long to be that, whether it was the old regime or not. You know, I kind of feel like they missed an opportunity early with him after the whole match at 33 with the Undertaker. And remember, the next night he came out and had that infamous, promo where all he said after being completely booed out of the building is "It's my yard now."
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that was so good. I was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere, and then nothing.
Like if they would have just done something similar back then, we wouldn't even be talking right now. He would have already been established. Of course, they would have not have had the head of the table shit, but it would have been something close because he did mention it before in a promo years ago that one day he would be sitting at his rightful place at the head of the table. Like, I mean, the idea is, somewhat there, but nobody was that smart to capitalize on it back then. But still,
Vince still wanted us to have suffering succotash Roman.
remember he had those fucking colored contacts in his eyes.
And then he got those big teeth.
Yeah, and he looked like Brian from freaking Family Guy.
Dude, like,
Oh,
can you?
yeah.
There wasn't a 2K21. I didn't know that.
No, dude, after freaking 2K20 and how horrible that was, they took a year off, and then that's when they came out with 22.
Huh.
And then since 22, they've been on top of their shit. They've been making sure that each release hasn't been a fucking debacle. And another thing, obviously, about the underground match, and they're bringing back intergender matches because they are getting rid of a lot of the gender restrictions that have been in the game. So yeah, you can actually have legit intergender matches. To what full extent? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to include allowing you to have like weapons and shit like that.
No,
We're gonna
it's
have
got to
to
have
just
weapons. It's got to have weapons.
we're just gonna have to play it to really figure it out. And apparently, chain wrestling is back.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I miss chain wrestling. Chain wrestling was the best feature in the games, and I really wish they hadn't gotten rid of it.
Yeah, so apparently, chain wrestling is coming back, and promos and universe mode is coming back, and it's gonna be revamped, so it's not like how it used to be, where it was like maybe like one or two options. It gives you multiple choice to kind of dictate which direction and how you want this promo to go. So that's going to be interesting. And to answer your question on that you asked me earlier on live, online mode GM.
Oh my god, they
So
fixed it. They fixed it. It's like the best game ever now.
yeah, so you are going to have online GM mode. So we are actually going to be able to do that shit.
I will actually
Which is
buy
going to
the
be
game now.
Yeah, it's going to be legitimately cool. And they've also implemented like a third person view camera that you're going to be able to use in all match types. So basically, from my understanding, how that works is you're gonna have to press a button that allows you to, because you're gonna use your right thumbstick to move the camera around. So then you press the button to enact that third person view, and then you move the right thumbstick to how you want, and you'll be able to freaking have an even better look. So like if the person's like your wrestler is climbing up the side of like the Hell in a Cell and stuff like that, you can then switch to that third person camera and get a better angle and perspective, and you can just play out the rest of the match in that camera if you want. So that's interesting. So have to see how that functions. And then apparently you can have up to 8 people, and like backstage like brawls and stuff like that, and it's supposed to work and function a lot better, so you can actually have up to 8.
You remember? I wish they bring back. I don't think a
What?
lot of people liked it, but in Raw, in the Xbox wrestling game, Raw, when
Mm-hmm.
you used to be able to set up people and like injure them before matches or like steal their
Oh,
clothes, so they had to
yeah,
swap out a
with
different
the
opponent.
trap. Yeah, you can like set up traps and stuff like that. I think it'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like that game had some elements in it that were very interesting and innovative, but it just kind of fell to the wayside because the game functionally just wasn't right. And I will say that at least Raw 2 was way better than Raw 1, on a functionality perspective, but the game was still junky. And obviously we know going back to like the game, going back to the showcase mode, it's gonna be Bloodline. It's going to be hosted and voiced over by Paul Heyman, and it's going to have like a lot of the heavy hitters of the bloodline, and it also goes to the extended NY family. So we will have like obviously The Rock, you'll have like Yokozuna, and apparently we're going to have some matches with like Jacob Fatu, so they're going to really push him. And the way that they have it set up, there's no more of the slingshot technology. It's going to be like all in-game animation. just like how it used to be, you know, back in like 2K like 14 and shit, how it should have been. And so we're gonna have that, and then it's gonna be kind of similar to the Cena showcase, where you know you could flip the script and you can have like you can either win the match with the person that originally won, you could have the other person win and change it up that way, and then they're gonna have like you know some what if matches and shit like that. And then in the trailer, that's when you see like Umaga and every you know come into play. So
Yeah.
obviously he's involved. So that's kind of interesting. So it's at least it's not like the full fledged like bloodline storyline that's still relatively fresh because you know it's been ongoing, you know, and just recently ended for
Way
the
too.
past 4+ years. You know what I mean? Like that'd be way too recent. So yeah, there's gonna be, you know, a few matches during the initial Bloodline run, as well as the what if matches, some you know the extended family members and historic like showdowns with the family members and stuff like that. So it's interesting. Plus, you know, you can either have them win or you can have the other person win, depending on what the scenario is. I want to know exactly more about what the what if matches are so I can really see what the deal is. But I don't know. This is from what I've been gathering, like this game is going to have the biggest rosters. There's like going to be over 300 superstars, which is insane. So I'm just like, God damn. So we're going to have over 300 superstars, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Legends, Hall of Famers, and shit.
I really wish they bring back the random Hall of Famers when we had Hillbilly Jim and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
I really wish they
Yeah,
bring back the
exactly.
randoms.
You know, like a fucking perfect random would be like Coco Beware.
Yeah, like bring back Coco Beware or IRS and be like, okay, cool, I guess.
You know, or something. You know, just something a little different. You
Like
know what I
remember when
mean?
you
It's
first
worth a
booted up,
spot.
like when you first booted up fucking Here Comes the Pain. No, Shut Your Mouth, and you could choose Hillbilly Jim, and everyone just kind of looked at it like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was Here Comes the Pain. Yeah, Hillbilly Jim, and you had like Jimmy Snuka, you had Nikolai Volkov, and that was the first time we had like old school Taker, which was sick. You know, like we need more of that too. Like, don't get me wrong, you got to have like all the big names that you need to have in the game, but at the same time, like show a little love to everybody that's like on those like special freaking legacy legend contracts that allow them to be in the game and shit. Like, do
It's
that.
still bugging me that fucking Boogeyman there. I think
Like,
Boogeyman's on a
don't get
legend
me
contract. Like
like
disgusting.
don't get me wrong. Like, kudos to him for being able to get a bag, bro. Like, being able to take like a goofy gimmick. And don't get me wrong, like the coolest thing about him was like the face paint and like
The
him
worm
smashing
eating.
clocks. You know, him smashing clocks and shit over his head over for his entrance. You know, because he wasn't a good wrestler.
But it
You
wasn't.
know, and the gimmick could only get you so far. It's not like you're going to be world champion with it. And he ate worms, so he had the gross factor. And then he had that one special segment when he ate the growth off of Jillian Hall's face. That's it, you know. And then he had that feud, and I think he had a WrestleMania match, or if it wasn't WrestleMania, then it was like SummerSlam with like Booker T. Yeah, you know, and yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. Iron Sheik, yeah. And this is all, yeah. This is all coming from Here Comes the Pain. Hmm. Yeah, there was a bunch of people that were going to be, you know, removed. Like if you, uh, well, you got to remember, like the time that Here Comes the Pain came out, that was like 2002. Yeah, Here Comes the Pain was the first time he was introduced. And then after that, that's like when they did the SmackDown versus Raw series. Like honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like after 25, I wouldn't oppose them coming back out with SmackDown versus Raw. You know what I mean? Kind of give like the 2K name a break.
Yeah. I just want a remaster of like something.
Really, realistically, dude, I think it'd be cool if we either got a remaster of Here Comes the Pain, or if we got a remaster of like SmackDown versus Raw, but in particular 07. Or
What was this?
or like 2011. 2011 was good because it had the cool weapon physics, and just that was an awesome element. Plus, you still had like creative, you know, didn't you have creative story? Yeah, 11 was was the last one, and then it went to WWE 12, and then it was like WWE 13, and then it was 2K14, and then yeah. So ever since like 2K14, you know, well, I if you look it up, I believe the first one was like 2K14 because it was WWE 12, then it was WWE 13, and then I believe it was 2K14 because that's the last THQ game and Ukes. That's that last one, and then afterwards it was full blown like 2K15 and onward. That's where we've been at, and I wouldn't, you know, either yeah, 2K14, and that's the last you know old traditional Ukes THQ game. And remember, 2K14 was when we actually had you know 30 years of WrestleMania, and they had matches from every single WrestleMania. Oh, dude, trust me, like the games and like you may beat me when it comes to like your in-depth knowledge of like television stuff, but like I'll beat you when it comes to the games for sure. That's where I can like easily surpass you and I can get brownie points because I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember the details on this. I've put too many hours into these games, dude. Trust me, I know exactly how you feel. I had to rely on my friends to on the back end so I can play their versions of the games on all the other consoles that I didn't own. Well, it wasn't 2K. It wasn't 2K11. SmackDown versus Raw. I believe so. I be- yeah, I believe it was the Road to WrestleMania. Plus, that was the game that had like the badass weapon physics. Yeah, that was really the selling point because 2000 because there was SmackDown versus Raw after Here Comes the Pain, and then you had '06, and then '06 was way better than the original SmackDown versus Raw because it was just more you know refined. And then you had 2007. 2007 was even more refined because I believe 2007 is where they included the you know like that little side backstage area that you can like that's like off like in the crowd, and it had like all the weapons and stuff. You can climb up on the platform and dive off. You can like throw people into microwaves and shit. And then you had 2008 that introduced ECW, and then you had 2009. And I want to say 2009 is when they had the refined tag team wrestling mechanics. And then I can't remember what was special about 2010. That's the only one that I can't get right off the top of my head. I can't remember what was special about 2010. Was it? Oh, okay, that's right. That was the first one that started implementing, you know, create your story. Okay. Create a finisher. Ah, shit. Which game was that? Oh, can I get a hint? Yes. Just so that way I know which end of the franchise to think about. That's it. Okay, so it features ECW. So I want to say, is it? Wait, I want to say it's possible it's either 2009. I feel like it's wrong. Is it? Oh my god. Oh yes. I told you, dude. I spent way too many hours playing these.
Oh my god, I can't believe that. My mic's been muted the last 15 minutes.
Really?
It disconnected, so we didn't even get that comic gold.
It wouldn't be us at mishaps, dude.
Oh well.
Every single recording. It's
Well,
fine.
people will get it from your perspective. People will understand from your perspective what I asked you.
Wait, so if your mic cuts out, do they only hear my section?
They only hear your section.
Okay. So they'll hear you up to the point where yours mutes, and then they'll hear just me, and then they'll hear you come back
You'll
in.
just hear the ramblings of a madman for a minute talking about creative finishers and the store and the
Oh,
progression of
nice.
SmackDown versus Raw.
Oh, dude, I think I like this even better than our old format.
It sounds like it's just story time with a manual.
That's cool. That just gives me a minute to kind of flex my game knowledge.
Nah, dude, I mean,
So,
shit, you had it under control. I was shocked.
so yeah, like I said, dude, like I'm pretty solid when it comes to that stuff. Like I'm pretty sure you can stump me, but like I'm gonna get the majority of it right. So that's pretty wild. Pretty goddamn wild. I
That's
wanted
actually
to
pretty
say,
good, man.
I honestly almost changed my answer at the last minute, but I was like, oh, I know like the tag team thing was like the really big selling point because I remember all those commercials were featuring DX. That's like the big thing. And then you've already known this, like, but the other folks at home and whoever listens, if they don't, they had it in a contract when the old like THQ days that Triple H could not look weak in any of the
Oh
commercials.
yeah, he couldn't be hit with a finisher or anything like that.
Yeah, he couldn't be made to look weak or made to look like he was taking any damage or anything like that back in the day, which is fucking crazy.
Okay, since this is pretty much the wrestling game episode, fuck it, we'll just make it this because this was like 90% of the conversation anyway.
Oh, well, that's because we still don't have a lot of information about the match card, but we can still give our predictions for what we do know. But yeah, we were starting off talking about 2K25, and then we started talking about the other games, and we're still talking about everything else.
I want to
But
ask you just right now, since we're on this little high,
sure.
top four, any generation, any console, go.
Um,
Any
let's see.
console, any console, top
I
four.
got it. I have to say PS2.
No,
I have.
games.
Oh, well, you had to be specific. You literally said just consoles. Yeah, there's like four. Top four wrestling games. Okay. Well, clearly you gotta put Here Comes the Pain. That it's like almost the perfect game. It's crazy. So I have to say that. Uh, after that, I am going to probably say 2K14. I'm gonna have to put, yeah, 14. No, because you had the 30 years of WrestleMania, and you still, you know what I mean? Like if it wasn't 2K14, then I would say WWE 13 because not only did you Yeah, so you already know where I was gonna go afterwards, but 14 is good. So that's why when I found out, so real sidebar. So when I found out about the Deadman Deluxe Edition, I was really hoping they were just gonna kind of squeeze that in. And I was like kind of disappointed that I didn't hear any news about that because that would have been perfect. Squeeze in like another version of the Defeat the Streak or whatever, and just have like that super powerful freaking version of the Undertaker. That was awesome. So yeah, here comes the pain. WWE 2K14 and trying to say I'm trying to figure out which of the N64 games I want to put on there.
It's got to be No Mercy, No Mercy or Revenge,
I'm gonna have to give it to No Mercy.
because there's no way anybody could pick WrestleMania over No Mercy or Revenge.
No, I'm not gonna say WrestleMania. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say No Mercy, and then I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like I really had a lot of fun playing Day of Reckoning. You know,
Oh, the GameCube one, right?
yeah, because there's Day of Reckoning 1 and 2. And what was cool is right after you finished 1, you could start off 2 with the same character. And
Huh.
I thought that was pretty badass because you don't really get a lot of chances to just do that. As long as you kept your save file from like the last game, your character would transfer over to the sequel. So, and I thought that was pretty fucking cool. And that was a fun ass game. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Both of those games, they actually hold up pretty well. That's why, when I saw that you got the GameCube, I was like kind of jealous, and I was like, well, all he has to do now is get those games, and we're still in. We're
Let me
solid.
see. Video games. Let me see how much Day of Reckoning would cost. I'm sure it'd be a lot. I'd be kind of pissed. If it's not a lot, I'd be fucking tempted to buy it right now. I'm not gonna
Because
lie.
I'm not 'cause, like off the top of my head, I can't remember between the two which one is better. But just in general, I gotta put just to throw it in there for like the fourth slot for me, Day Reckoning. You know what I mean? You get like a couple different platforms, and depending on which version of them you want to play. But yeah, besides like Day of Reckoning, because that was only on GameCube, and that was the GameCube exclusive wrestling game, so that was pretty badass. Because not only did we have the PS2 run, we also had 360, and then we also had GameCube and shit. So like you had something for everybody. What? What? What blows my mind is how is it, for one, it's still on sale, and two, you can get it at Walmart. The fuck? Jesus Christ! And that's only the first one. Jesus Christ! I was just thinking what it would cost to get it from like a disc replay or something. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind getting a used copy if I can get a deal. I'm pretty sure, dude. Honestly, you could probably find a way better deal on. Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure you could find like a way better deal on eBay. Okay. Why is Bobby Lashley there?
That's the exact same thing I just thought. I was like, why is Bobby Lashley there?
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, clearly you can tell that's Roman. But if I would have easily put Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have put
Bianca's whatever because she's at least she's there. She's like,
well,
it's
it
understandable
would
with
it
Bianca.
would have like not I'm not gonna lie, it would have been obvious choice to put Roman, Cody, and Rhea Ripley. But Bianca would have been a perfect secondary.
Fucking
But
Bobby Lashley.
like, dude, they didn't even use a good picture. Like he blends too much into the background. Like I had to like squint and look, and then my immediate thought is, why is that Bobby Lashley? Why is he there? Like I could barely at first like the first 2 seconds when you like when I popped in to watch, I was like, who am I looking at? And I'm like, and then it instantly jogged my brain. Why is it Bobby Lashley? It doesn't even work because they never even really even teased that match during the entire 4 year run. They never even teased it. And if they did, I don't remember it at all. Do you?
I guess, man. Like I genuinely don't understand. Like he wasn't used in that light. Didn't Roman
Like
beat him like a few times beforehand also? So like what's it even matter?
I mean, like, if they even did wrestle, it was like before he came back, and it had to be in like 2017, 2018. Had to be in like at least 2018, maybe
Yeah.
even 19. But after that, I believe they haven't touched since. Because I think that was when, I want to say that was like during the same time during the shitty Raw days where it was like Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, and I want to say Bobby Lashley helped. I want to say that was during like the Constable Corbin days or some shit.
Oh Lord, Constable Corbin.
You know what I mean? Like I want to say it was during that time. I could be wrong. Like all that whole area, that era of like Raw is just like a freaking blur in my brain because it was so bad. It was hard to watch, and that's like peak end of like Vince McMahon tenure power, and it's just like unbearable to watch. And even if I'm wrong, like that just goes to show like, and I have a pretty good memory when it comes to shit, and if I can't even recall, like what the fuck?
I'm at a loss for words at some of the stuff.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like at that point in time, it was like what AEW is right now. Like none of this shit makes sense. It was just there. It was just happening to happen just to have shit on TV.
And don't you talk trash about AEW or else the stands will come.
Man, fuck them. They can eat my dick.
They'll get upset and call you a E drone or something.
You know what? They can eat my dick and then they can like kiss my ass. But yeah, to answer your question, so we can keep it moving, since I know we're gonna have to wrap this up soon. Honestly, dude, I'm
Dude, we should
probably
watch that Young Dragons match actually with 3 count. We should watch that on there one day.
honestly, yeah, because like that's a good underrated, late era WCW match. Because you got to think there wasn't really a lot of good stuff at the end, and that was surprisingly well.
Yeah.
But honestly, dude, like I think because for the women's Royal Rumble match, there's a strong indication that they want to finally pull the trigger on the Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair match for WrestleMania. So she's in my mind, she's got a good, strong possibility of winning.
Ugh.
And then if she does win, then you can kind of do you have a reason to do the fallout bullshit of what's going on, like who done it with Jade and like Naomi. So that kind of fills in the gap. and that kind of like segues into what's going to happen for Elimination Chamber, and then we just kind of like have like the road to WrestleMania, and then we can see what's really going on. But I don't know. So a part of me wants to say Bianca, but then obviously Jade's got to return. She has to return, and either she's gonna cost like Naomi or she's gonna like cost Bianca, and then we'll kind of get our answer to see what's going on. They'll give us the hook to tune into SmackDown. I don't think Bailey's gonna. She's not gonna repeat as much as they kind of want to like poke at it and say that she could. I don't think she's gonna do it. I want to give it to EO because I feel like
I want it
EO.
to be EO.
Like I want to give it to EO because I feel like EO has been a bridesmaid for a while now, and I think it'd be cool. Plus, she always freaking has
Oh
amazing
no,
matches.
he did fight Bagwell. He did. Duh. Actually, that makes sense. He fought Buff Bagwell to save his mom. Duh.
Yeah, see, motherfucker, you told me it's Rick Steiner.
Like it makes like I'd believe it because it's his fucking mom on a forklift. Like who gives a shit? So I'll believe anything. Okay,
Okay, so I have to rewrite this and put not Rick Steiner, Buff Bagwell.
versus Canyon.
Like I got speaking of Buff Bagwell, like he's got like a YouTube channel and shit. I don't know if he was like trolling or if he's like legit, but like I didn't watch it. But like on my recommended, for whatever reason, for the first time, he popped up and in the little like heading or whatever it says like, "I'm going back to jail, Buff Bagwell." And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with Buff?
Did you not see his Dark Side of the Ring episode?
No, I know he
Um.
was in trouble.
Oh man, that thing was a fucking mess.
I know he's on trouble. I know the only thing about that I want to say I remember really hearing about was like there was this one part in it where like I think his mom was either shaving his balls or something
Yeah, she was
for
shaving. She was
him.
shaving his ass.
Oh yeah, it was like no, I want to say it was like shaving his ass and balls too.
Yeah, because he was trying. Yeah, that's right. Because he was trying to get like waxed up and everything. Super weird, man.
Yeah, and just like I just remember whoever was talking about it was like, "Oh yeah," and then like this was just like a common occurrence and shit like this. Like this happened all the time. I'm like, how fucking close, can you really be when you're like a full-fledged man and you're just like getting shaved down from like head to toe, and then you still are that close with your mama, where she can just come in and just like shave your fucking nuts.
Could you imagine going to your mom and going, "Hey, can you shave my nuts?"
It's like
Like I
the
want you to
fuck.
imagine going to your mom and going, "Hey, mom,
Yeah, as a
I got
grown
a
ass man.
favor."
Hey, you see me covered in shaving cream. Can you shave my sack?
I could
I don't want to
never. I
nick
could
my
never.
I don't want to nick myself. I'll hold it. I just need you to get in there for me. I just need a delicate touch, ma.
My God,
No.
dude, I could never. Like
Like
I couldn't. If even if she did, I could never look at her again, like in the eyes the next day. I'd just be like, "Yep, that's
yeah,
what
it's
happened.
not
Sorry, mom."
what do you mean? What do you mean, Eric? You have your mom shave your nuts and your ass crack and then you come downstairs, "Hey, ma, what's for breakfast?"
No, never.
But yeah, so I'm conflicted. I'm gonna say depending on what goes on with Jade, Bianca Belair, but otherwise, I want to give it to Io because I want to see her have like a kick-ass match at WrestleMania.
I'll say EO.
Otherwise, Charlotte's gonna cash in her Charlotte in the Bank contract, and she's gonna fucking just win it because she's gonna, for whatever reason, come out at number 30. And then I'm gonna shit on the pay-per-view. I'm gonna be super fucking pissed, and I'm gonna be like, "Fuck this thing." And then I'm gonna be like, who's gonna win the male rumble? and then I'm still gonna watch the rest of the pay-per-view, but I'm gonna be fucking bitter.
You know what makes me
And I'll be like,
laugh? Honestly, I just thought about a match we should
what?
watch,
What was it?
and it's the Bailey versus Banks 30-minute Iron Man match. Just because when Banks takes away that fucking bow from Izzy or whatever the hell her name is, she starts crying. It brings me so much joy.
Yeah, it's Izzy.
It's
Yeah,
it
and
brings me
isn't it
so
so
much joy
crazy?
because I hate that little
Isn't it
girl.
so crazy now that so much time has passed that Izzy is now wrestling?
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit, I'm old."
Yeah, like she's legit wrestling, and she's like I believe the last time I looked into it, she won a title somewhere, dude.
I,
Like
I
somebody like gave her a championship.
I wonder if she's gonna try to be like, "Hey Bailey, remember me?"
Did you hit mute again?
No,
Okay.
no.
You
Why?
just
What
cut out.
happened?
You just cut out, so like I didn't hear what you said.
No, I said I
I was
wonder. I wonder if Izzy's gonna do her whole little like, "Hey Bailey, how are you? How's WWE? Sure wish I could go.
Billy, you remember me
You
in
remember me?
NXT?
I was there in the front row and I cried.
I was your biggest fan, and now I've come to kill you.
Oh my god! What if Izzy was a surprise entrant?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I would be completely shocked because I'd be like, "What the hell is she doing here?"
He's not good enough.
I'd be like, "What?" Oh, dude, speaking of like real quick, men's rumble. Do you legitimately think they're gonna freaking put iShow Speed and Kai Cenat in the rumble?
Honestly, I'd believe it. I'd believe it just so they can get their little moment.
Like, I swear to God, dude, I'm gonna be really fucking sour if I see those motherfuckers in the rumble taking up 2 spots, and I'm gonna be like,
Oh man, you're just being a hater. You're just being a
ah,
hater. That's all you're doing is being a giant hater.
I don't see them. If I want to watch them, I can watch them on doing their live streams. I don't want to. I don't need to see them in the ring.
Oh
They
man,
can fucking accompany somebody, or they can have like a cameo some other point in the pay per view. But
no,
in the rumble itself,
nope. They're gonna get carried by two people, and everyone's gonna be like, man, they should do more matches. That shit was amazing. Oh my god, it was so good. They're so gifted and good. Just like, oh, Logan Paul and them should make a whole fucking stable.
oh, dude, maybe they can turn into the new Mean Street Posse.
There you go.
Maybe.
I'm getting.
I between the two of them, I expect I Show Speed to probably have some appearance in the Rumble. I just don't really care to see both of them in it.
I don't care to see
You
either
know,
one of them because that takes a spot away from people that are gonna be there the next day.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if they have to put somebody in there because they want that freaking social media hit, then put in iShow because he's the least gifted and talented. I'm not saying that Kai isn't, but I'm just like,
Guy's just loud. Guy's just a loud idiot, and that's all he is.
you know what I mean? He's just a personality, and it's fine. So is iShow, but iShow actually has some legitimate, ability. So
Yeah.
he could probably pull like a freaking Logan Paul moment out of his ass, and everybody will pop, and it'll be fine. And I'll be like, all right, cool. And then somebody just dump him out of the fucking ring, or whatever. I don't know. Hit him with an RKO. Well, I don't give a shit.
Stab him. Well, I care.
I don't know. Hit him with a Holocaust.
Get New Jack in there. Dig up New Jack and throw him in there. Let all of his
Have him just
black rage take over.
just have him just like you just climb out of the grave and just do a balcony dive on I Show Speed, and I'll fucking give WWE all my money.
There you go. I wonder what
I'll
made them
I'll
even like look at those two and go, "Yeah, we need."
well probably because Kai has like I don't know like millions of fucking people watching his streams, and then
Yeah, but it's just like with the
I
Logan
shows
Paul
like
people. All
Logan
they're gonna
Paul
do
like
is
one of
watch their
Logan Paul's dick
segment.
ride boys. So I don't know.
All they're gonna do is watch their segment and turn it off. Like I don't
I
get.
don't. I don't fucking know. I don't know either. Let's see.
I'm gonna say
So, who do you? Who's your pick for the male?
it's gonna be Roman Reigns. I don't even know why we're debating it.
Okay, so who's your feasible number two?
John
You
Cena
got.
because he needs to get
You
that
got.
second. He needs to get number 17.
Okay,
Who I
so
would like to see
you're
win.
going with the two obvious picks, and you're going with Roman, which is one of my obvious picks, and then you're going with Cena, so you can tell the story of chasing title 17.
Yeah, another
Okay,
story to sit through.
so my secondary pick is CM Punk
That's who I was gonna
because
say. To be serious, like my genuine pick, who I want to win is CM.
like my honest secondary pick, like clearly Roman is like the super strong candidate, but I feel like it's too obvious if he wins. So I feel like CM Punk and he cashes in the favor.
CM Punk's never won the Royal Rumble. Okay, so he should win this one.
Yeah, he's never won. He's never won. He was the runner up last year, but at the same time he was injured with the tricep tear. And he's had an unbelievable year since he's come back from injury. He's had some pretty hellacious matches. That Hell in a Cell match is hands down like one of my match of the year candidates.
Yeah, that one was super good.
Like, like for sure, dude. And props to McIntyre. We need to do a watch along for that because like that's a fucking bloodbath, dude. I was like, hell yeah. I showed like my little brother that, and he doesn't even watch wrestling, and he was like, "This was cool." He was like, "Holy shit! I didn't expect it to get this fucking brutal and violent." And I was like, "Yeah, me neither."
Yeah, it took me back to those old Hell in a Cell days, and I was like, yes, let's go. Let's keep it like
Yeah,
this.
I was fucking geeking out, dude. I was like, "This kind of takes me back to like the
Wait,
first two."
so is
Yeah, yeah,
so is uh Royal Rumble still gonna be on Peacock, right?
yeah. It's gonna be on Peacock.
Okay, so Peacock's still gonna be their little spot for
Yeah,
everything.
they still have that deal with them for at least I think that deal lasts like another year or two.
Okay, so okay. I was trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna watch it, but all right, down.
Yeah, I believe they still have another year or so left on their contract with Peacock because that deal was for like it was for like a ridiculous amount of money. And then after that deal lapses, then they're going to kind of do that slow, continuous migration on Netflix where they're going to slowly put a bunch of stuff on and then they're going to roll in a bunch of other stuff and they're going to do a continuous rollout thing where they'll eventually get everything on there. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. That right there alone makes me very nervous because there's so much fucking content that WWE has,
Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of that stuff is not going to end up on there. So we're going to see a lot more of that shit on WWE Vault and stuff like that.
which kind of sucks
So
because I like having the.
I like having the access to it. That's why I really wish that WWE Network still existed, dude. That was so good.
I wanted to pay for it.
That's the thing, though. It was just a little bit ahead. It was just a few years ahead of its time. And if they would have been a little bit smarter and they would have kind of had like a beta version of it, and then as the years rolled out, come out with like newer versions of it, so that way it's like, look, guys, we're updating it. We've added all of this to our collection, and all you know what I mean.
I
All
will
roll out
say
all of those.
that even though the
Just
network was a mess, I
it's
did love that when it said Iron Man match, you just got the match and you didn't have to watch a whole fucking episode of SmackDown to get to it or a whole pay per view.
exactly, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't too convoluted. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you go on Peacock and you sit there, sure, you can go through all the selected, specialty match types and you can watch those matches, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to jump through hoops just to watch the match. I just want to just click it and it's there and I can just press play. I don't want to go into a menu, then go into another menu, then go into another menu, and then scroll and then try to find it.
Go through the whole episode just to get to the match when it's like the network gave me the match itself.
Exactly. So yeah, so obviously first choice for the male rumble, Roman, but it really depends. I feel like Cena's gonna have a really strong run, and I feel like he's gonna get eliminated. He's gonna end up in the final four, and then he's gonna get eliminated, and then he's going to cash his opportunity by winning the chamber. So I'm gonna say it now, and then I'll double back on it once we get to the elimination chamber predictions episode. But I'm gonna say that Cena is gonna be final four in the Rumble. He's gonna get tossed out. I want to say he's going to get tossed out because I feel like the final four is going to be Roman, Cena, McIntyre, and
Punk.
if not McIntyre, then Rollins, and then CM Punk.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that as well.
You know, I feel like Sammy is going to get close,
CM
and
Punk cannot
you know
eliminate
what I mean.
McIntyre because that will bring this feud back up, and I do not want to deal with it again. It ended nicely. Let it die.
Yeah, that's why I was saying if McIntyre doesn't make it to the final four, then Rollins, because then that kind of continues their whole little angle because I feel like Drew and Punk, they pretty much settled it. They had the feud and rivalry of the year. You need some separation. You can always call back to it later. The Rollins stuff still has enough steam to go a little longer before that kind of loses interest. So you can still build on that. And then obviously you got the tensions with, Roman, and then you have that that classic feud with Cena you could pick up. So I feel like those four is the best combination for a final four. And
You think
like I
Solo's
said,
gonna intervene for Roman? Think he's gonna try to get Roman eliminated?
Solo, I feel like Solo, yeah, I feel like that would be Solo's big push or Jacob Fatu. And it would be a big enough reason to kind of have like I feel like they're saving that match like Roman versus Fatu. I feel like they're saving that for potentially WrestleMania, like maybe night one. You know what I mean? So like I feel like that's a possibility. And I feel like it'll start off with like a distraction for Solo. Maybe he tries to get involved. He gets hit with a freaking Superman punch or something. And then you have Fatu that's just like comes out from underneath the ring or some shit and just takes him out. Everybody's down. He comes in, he takes out Roman, shucks him out, fucking stands tall, and then he just fucking gets hit with like a fucking barrage, like super spam of finishers, and they eliminate him even though he's not in the match, and then it's like the final three or the final two or whatever the fuck. So I feel like that could be happening, and that's how Roman doesn't win, but I feel like he's gonna make it to the end. And I legitimately feel like you know what I mean? Like I want to say at that point, you give it to Punk
Yeah.
because you know what I mean. Because if Roman's already out and screwed over by Solo or Fatu, then he can fully cash in on his favorite of Heyman and get the win if he decides to pull that card. You know what I mean? Nobody's saying he can pull the favor card until like Elimination Chamber if he doesn't win on Saturday.
That's pretty much how I can see it playing out. Do we even need to do the Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens prediction? Because we all know Cody's gonna win, right?
I'm still saying like
I would love to see Kevin Owens do
I'm
it.
still saying Kevin Owens is gonna win it, and he's gonna hold the he's gonna win it, and he's gonna run rough shot like we talked about it on the stream. But yeah, I'll say it on here just so that way it's on this recording. That I want Kevin Owens to win. I want him to at least have like like a glory run for like the next month with the belt, and then get screwed out of it in the elimination chamber, and he can throw a fit and try to get himself involved in like night 2 WrestleMania or some shit, or end up having a match with Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. I
Yeah.
feel like, something is gonna happen, if not at the Rumble with like that promo that cut off, saying like, Sammy, the right thing is to help me, your best friend. I know you're gonna do the right thing. So if we don't see anything happen, and that's just a tease, then we're gonna see something for sure by Elimination Chamber, and that's probably either gonna set up their match, or Owens is gonna go off the deep end and try to do whatever he can to insert himself in and turn it into a triple threat.
So he might try to win the chamber then, and
Yeah,
he'll find a way to get himself into the chamber, find himself a
yeah.
way
So
to win,
that's what
and
I'm
then be
saying.
in there.
So like, like give him the title. He can lose the title. He can kind of pull a Jericho, insert himself into the chamber
Wait,
by
when is
taking
Money in the
someone
Bank?
out. Money in the Bank happens after. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, if not, he could just try to do that, but never mind.
Yeah, that's the problem, because that's in May or June.
Oh, okay. So that's way out. That's a good minute after.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, have Owens win the title, have him carry the title to Elimination Chamber, have him start the show, defend the title, lose, and then by the end of the night, hit somebody with a package pile driver on the fucking like steel
He
steps,
should do it to
take him
Brandy.
out. You know what I mean? Take them out, and
Yeah.
then take their spot in the chamber, win the chamber to earn the right to insert himself back into the match. And now we have even more storytelling for the next 4 weeks on SmackDown. That's my thinking. So that way
I
you have a whole legitimate new angle, because you could still have Cena win
Because then we get
somehow.
Prize Fighter. Because then we get Prize Fighter Owens back, and that's the best Owens.
Right, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of tapping back into like what really was, that version of him that was winning the championship and like holding the title. You know what I'm saying? Like this version, he's a little unhinged, but like I feel like he's just, enough shit needs to happen just to put him right back into that right situation. You get similar to Prize Fighter. You know what I mean? He can freaking go back to power bombing people onto the apron and fucking them up, and he could still hit them with stunners and all the other stuff like
He should
that.
package
And
Power Driver the dog.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. He should package. He should apron powerbomb the baby, and then package Power Driver the dog.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I mean,
I
hey,
was gonna,
are we playing mind games or are we playing baby?
Jesus Christ, take the kid out of it. Yeah, I was gonna let you keep the dog in.
Okay, well then
Jesus
he
Christ.
package Power Drivers the dog, and then he
I was gonna
apron
say,
power bombs Brandy.
like, if
6 months pregnant Brandy
if you really want to get some heat, just hit Brandy with a package pile driver on the fucking ramp.
on the dog.
You know what I mean? Like, not even in the ring, just anywhere, like on the floor, just anywhere outside the ring. Just, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's a rare appearance. We see Brandy over at ringside. He just comes over, grabs her, just like forcefully just reaches over. Like, he's cutting a promo. He just, allows him to walk closer, tries to make her a little nervous. And then
He
she
should,
goes to slap him or something. And she just, like, he catches her arm, pulls her over the barricade, hits her immediately with a freaking pile driver, has a stunned look on his face,
and then he
maybe a
points at
cheeky smile.
Cody and says, "You did that. You did that."
It's like, this is your fault. This is your fault I did this. Look at your wife. You weren't there to protect her. And then he bolts in the crowd or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, ultimate heat. And then Cody's beside himself,
And
and
then
he's going to do everything.
and
He's going
then
to do everything he can to fucking beg and plead to Nick Aldis to insert Owens into the match. And it's like, you know what I mean? You don't suspend him or nothing like that. You put him in the match. You know what I mean?
then
Kind of a
Nick Aldis
callback,
acts as useless as always.
kind of a callback to how Owens was able to weasel his way into getting that freaking title shot, that has literally fucking led all this shit in motion in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's like another twist on it because now it's like, how could you, Owens? You went after the wife. You know what I mean? And like,
Went after my
you went,
baby.
you know what I mean? Like, you went after my family. So now it's another whole level of bullshit now. So it's like, I can see that. So I want to say, give it to Owens because you can now have flexibility. Now you can go and have him still do the same shit, cutting the promos, cutting them in the car, but now he's targeting everybody else. And
One
it's like now
by
you don't
one.
like now you don't know when I'm gonna strike. Blah 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 blah. You know, already took out Randy, and then now you don't know when Randy's coming back. You know, maybe he comes back. You know, try to. You know, maybe that's the reason why he loses the fucking title to start the show at Elimination Chamber, and
Yeah,
then he
that
gets.
could be
You know,
it.
he gets. Yeah, and he gets over on everybody by inserting himself into the actual chamber, and then he wins the damn chamber. So boom, I just book the next 2 months.
Yeah. We're ready for 29 of Raw.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it doesn't take that hard to figure out
All
shit,
you
and
have to
it's like,
do is use your fucking brain.
use your fucking noodle, guys. I did the noodle dance and I figured it out.
We booked Bianca. We booked uh we booked Kevin Owens for the next few months. Like, I mean, it's not that hard. All you have to do is just, use your noodle.
I'm telling you, dude. They need to they need to be listening, and they need to hook up your boy and get him a job. I'll be on that fucking booking committee. I'll be in the writers' room. I'll be like, look, like who do we need to fucking book here? Who do we need to push? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, it's not that hard, guys.
I feel like okay, so for my story, whenever Carmelo's not on in the ring, everyone should go, "Hey, where's Carmelo?" There you go. Because Carmelo needs to be pushed. I don't know why they made him get drafted, come out and say, "I want that belt," and then he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, he loses. He has like that match with Cody, and then he's like pushed down, and then he has that 7 match series with Andrade that doesn't go anywhere during the LA Knight title run. And I'm like, why would you push him as such an early draft pick, but then you're not really gonna push him?
Yeah, it just it. I don't know. But
You know what I
then
mean?
again,
Like
that's a
now,
Vince thing.
because now he's like, I look at Carmelo the same way I look at freaking Montez like Ford. Like the guy's got potential. You know, the guy can work, but you're not doing anything with him. You're not
And
putting him in matches
you know
where he
why they're
can
not doing
really get
anything with
over.
them with Montez or Carmelo?
Because they're small.
Huh?
They're small.
And also, it's because we've run out of time, guys. So with that, we're gonna have to call it here. I'd love to tell you, but it was only supposed to be in this episode. I guess we'll never know now.
Exactly. You're gonna have to tune into the next installment of Kayfabe Critics, guys, and we'll
to,
finish this
to find out why
compelling argument of
these
why
two
people like,
these two
you
black
know, like,
wrestlers cannot get pushed into the Vince McMahon era.
well, it's not even the Vince era anymore.
Oh yeah, it's Triple H. Okay, so don't expect him to get pushed.
Isn't that, you know what I mean? It's the Paul Levesque era.
The Triple H era. Raw. All right, Emmanuel, why don't you let the people
So
know where
yeah.
they can reach you?
Yes, so you can go ahead and you can find me on Discord at Slumas underscore the Black Lebowski, on TikTok, Slumas Black Lebowski, Spotify, Red Note, Lemonade. If you want to, Instagram at King Wavy Fresh, Facebook under Elvis Freshly, and yeah, that's it.
And you can find me on all the apps at that dude Irk. We will probably work on once we get some more traction going, we'll probably work on the solo Kayfabe Critics thing going on. But these
Well,
things
hey,
take
you still
time.
have that. You still have the one thing that I sent you, right?
Yeah, I
The
still got
intro.
it. I still got it. I'm gonna add that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add that to this when I edit this.
Perfect. Yes, because like we still
And
have the
this,
intro, and we'll probably have to rework it since you are, that dude Irk now instead of like Irkman 3 stacks.
nah, it's fine. People, I still have all the banners up that say Earthman 3 stacks. They'll get it. I'm
Okay,
too,
so as
I'm too
long
lazy.
okay, that's perfect. You were so goddamn lazy. You still have the old shit up, so at least if I plug the old shit, they could still go to the new current shit.
Stay
That's
on
genius.
brand. Stay on brand.
Exactly. If you never fully change the brand, you can never be off brand.
Yeah. Well, that guy was a lazy piece of shit, and I'm still a lazy piece of shit, so I'm still on brand. Damn, this
Hey,
thing
at
went
least
on.
you have brands. I don't even have brands, bro.
This thing went on for 2 hours. I can't believe that. I didn't think we were gonna do that much.
Hey, this is what happens when we actually talk about something we're passionate about.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, you know what? We just need to do this again. Like, we missed out on 8 years of fuckery in the wrestling business, dude.
Yeah, there was a lot we could have been taken care of.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit we could have been booking, talking about, and just shitting on just because it had a right to be shit on. You know what I mean? Think of all the content and shit that we missed out during the freaking pandemic era.
Oh yeah, the pandemic era would have been perfect.
It was fucking gold. It was a gold mine of opportunity and shit like that. So that we got to do like watch alongs and
It was a Thunderdome era.
yeah, we're gonna go back to like the Thunderdome and Daly's place, and we have to rewatch some of that shit. We got to put ourselves back in the mindset of the pandemic era. You know what I mean? We got to lock ourselves down, not shower, look disheveled,
Stay 6 feet away
watch
from each other.
exactly at all times, wear masks.
Well, I already got the cough, so
Exactly.
we're
You already
getting
got the
there.
COVID. Exactly. You know what I mean? And then just do that shit all over and just go back to some painstakingly annoying Raws. Probably another shit match we're gonna have to watch is that horrible Hell in a Cell match, The Fiend versus Seth Rollins.
God no.
We have to watch it. The people got to know what we think.
I don't have to watch any.
Yes, you will. You'll do it for the fans. You'll do it for the adoring public that we will soon cultivate.
Of them. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.